People don't know is the reason he made that song, it was because I didn't get on a song that he wanted me to get on for them. But that just wasn't my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the music that they were doing, I didn't feel it fit me. It wasn't.
If anybody know T.I., I know everybody at school or high school didn't like him. So I got a reward, man. If y'all send me the yearbook pictures or something that's showing where he from, man, I will pay y'all personally, man. You know what I'm saying?
Say he got a phone conversation. If you tell him, if we had a phone conversation, you need to tell him what the phone conversation was about. It's about you getting punched in the face at Club Pure by one of my goons, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you have a new artist like Shawty Lo, who's causing friction with you. He's obviously calling you out. You know, he's obviously challenging the throne.
Yeah, I hear
you know, which in my opinion is
if you could call it that.
Well, you know, you see it as competition. You don't take it
personally. I'm sorry.
And I said the same thing that any Atlanta say when he wants you when he looking for an opportunity from you.
Yeah.
With me. I say, man, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like 200, baby, you know what I'm saying? So like, did me just like this. Hit your weight up. Roll the dice.
Hip-hop beefs almost never end smoothly, and T.I.'s clash with Shawty Lo proved that in the loudest way possible. Their feud might not have blown up on the same scale as other legendary rap battles, but don't get it twisted. It got just as messy, and maybe even dirtier. What started as mutual respect flipped into all-out disrespect overnight. And believe it or not, T.I. ended up looking like the one who took the heavier hit in this battle. Shawty Lo didn't waste time throwing the first stone. He straight up called T.I. out, accusing him of faking where he was really from. That claim was like gasoline on a fire. It had both the streets and the industry second-guessing T.I.'s street credentials. Suddenly, people were asking, was T.I. really the king of Bankhead, or just claiming a crown he didn't earn? But Shawty Lo didn't stop there. He took it a step further and pinned one of the ugliest labels in hip-hop on T.I., a snitch.
You know, it's a lot of times, you know, you find yourself in positions around people who don't like you, but most of the time, that's just because they don't like their damn self, you know?
That word alone can destroy careers, and once it stuck, it followed T.I. everywhere. Even other big names in the game started whispering it, keeping the rumor alive for years. This wasn't just about disses on wax either. Things got so intense, it exploded into diss tracks, ugly back and forths, wild moments during live performances, and even brawls between their crews. It was straight up chaos with no middle ground. So how did it get to that point? Let's take it back. Both T.I. and Shawty Lo were on the rise, but in very different lanes. Shawty Lo had carved his own lane with D4L, while T.I. was cementing himself as one of Atlanta's biggest rap stars. The twist: both repped Bankhead, and both had reputations tied to the streets, making the clash inevitable. T.I. had been grinding since he was a teenager, hustling hard and catching cases before he was even 15. Meanwhile, Shawty Lo didn't jump into rap until later in life. While T.I. was rapping at 8 years old and slinging mixtapes out of his trunk in the mid-90s, Shawty was still knee-deep in the streets. When T.I.'s career really started rolling, he dropped his first big video, I'm Serious, in 2001. Here's the wild part. Most of the flashy cars in that video, they belong to Shawty Lo. You can even spot Shawty himself in the background, strolling by like it was nothing. Back then, it looked like love between the two. But somewhere along the way, that brotherhood turned into battle. After Shawty Lo split from D4L and decided to chase his solo rap dreams, the timing couldn't have been crazier. By then, T.I. wasn't just hot, he was on fire. Chart-topping singles, Grammy wins, and crowned one of the South's biggest names in hip-hop. Still, no matter how high he climbed, T.I. always sold himself as the rapper who kept one foot planted in the streets. So when Shawty Lo reached out for a collab, he thought it was a no-brainer. But T.I. turned him down. And that's where the bad blood really started boiling. From Shawty Lo's side, it felt like pure disrespect.
We won't know, man. How y'all seen T.I.? Is he from Bankhead?
Man, we ain't seen enough when he bricks, man. For real, man. Man, we already know who you be, Shawty Lo, baby, man. Why you say you pull up in that Bankhead? They already know.
Man.
They already know who you.
He remembered how he used to let T.I. borrow his cars for music videos back when Tip was still hustling to get noticed. Now, all of a sudden, T.I. was acting like Shawty didn't even exist. Shawty wasn't about to take that slap in the face quietly. He started calling Tip out in public, stirring up noise. But T.I. had his own version of events. According to him, it wasn't personal. He just wasn't feeling the track Shawty wanted him on. Still, the streets weren't buying that excuse. And then, a deeper twist popped up. Way back when T.I. was grinding to build a name, Shawty Lo was already heavy in the game. Somebody Tip actually looked up to at the time. T.I. even admitted he once asked Shawty for help and guidance in the hustle. But Shawty turned him down cold, refusing to give him any type of support. That rejection left a mark.
No, you were saying T.I. was a rat.
Well, yeah. Man, everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Fast forward years later, T.I. claimed he didn't even realize at first that the same Shawty Lo who came knocking for a feature was the same dude who had once shut him down. When he finally connected the dots, T.I. flat out refused to do the track, no hesitation. And then things really hit the fan. About a year before the feud hit its peak, T.I. got caught up in one of the biggest scandals of his career. Just hours before he was set to perform at the BET Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta, the feds swooped in and took him down. The charges? Heavy. Possession of 3 unregistered machine guns, 2 silencers, and being a convicted felon with firearms. Turns out the whole deal was a sting. The guy T.I. thought he was buying from was actually working with the feds, setting him up for what looked like an airtight case. That arrest didn't just threaten his freedom, it put his entire street credibility under the microscope like never before. For T.I., this was nothing short of a nightmare.
I don't hate Tip, you know what I'm saying? He a great rapper, but I'm from the streets for real. That's what I do for real. I'm on Bankhead for real. 2610. He's talking about y'all come and do something. Do what we at right now.
His rap sheet was already long, and now he was staring down a possible 10-year sentence on federal charges. Fans were convinced the hammer was about to drop, bracing themselves to see him locked away for years. But then, out of nowhere, the story flipped. T.I. took a plea deal, and instead of a decade behind bars, he only got 1 year. And here's the kicker, he didn't even serve the full stretch. T.I. ended up doing just a few months before he was back on the streets. The light sentence had everybody scratching their heads. How does someone get caught trying to buy machine guns, plead guilty, and still walk away with barely a scratch?
Never say nothing though. I ain't raised no hell. You know what I mean? And when I found out that was him, I was like, oh, get your weight up.
It didn't make sense, and Shawty Lo wasted no time throwing fuel on the fire. In interviews, Shawty Lo leaned into the whispers, suggesting the only way you beat a federal case like that is by cooperating with the authorities. He didn't have to spell it out. The implication was crystal clear. Ty was playing both sides. And yet some argue T.I. might have fired the first shot himself. Back in 2007, he dropped his hit Big Things Poppin', and certain lines sounded way too pointed to be random. T.I. rapped, "Do it to the maximum. Take it while you asking them. Don't listen to them suckers when they say you too irrational."
We gonna ride on up to the top of Baker Road, and then we gonna ride back down. I lead the...
See, I said I was king, and them lames started laughing. Them same suckers now want the king on a track with them. Fans immediately connected the dots, believing he was calling out Shawty Lo, who had been loudly complaining about T.I. rejecting his collab request. If that was a subliminal, it was sharp enough to cut deep. Once T.I. got out and jumped back into the spotlight, he addressed all the talk in an interview with MTV. He brushed off the rumors like they were nothing, saying he didn't need to use anyone else's name to get attention. T.I. called the chatter flat-out nonsense, but Shawty Lo wasn't backing down. If anything, he doubled down harder. He questioned T.I.'s authenticity and came after the very foundation of his brand, his claim to Bankhead. T.I. had always proudly repped the West Side in his music, but Shawty Lo clapped back saying the streets weren't co-signing that story at all.
I never looked to gain acknowledgement or recognition by mentioning anyone else's name. It was an issue with me and another person. It was an issue with me and another person. It wasn't a publicity stunt or a marketing.
According to him, nobody in Bankhead even knew T.I., and he accused Tip of fabricating an entire street image just to boost his career. To really drive his point home, Shawty Lo dropped Dun Dun, a diss track aimed straight at T.I.'s head. On the record, Shawty rapped lines like, "I've done it all, I've done it all." Who mentioned Bankhead didn't acknowledge me? What, you blind? Need some glasses to see? He turned up the heat with more bars. "Yeah, I'm hot, dude. They say I'm burning up. Me, the rare dude, I'm finna turn it up. Add the fire to the flame. Who mentioned Bankhead didn't say my name?" But the line that stuck, the one that became the catchphrase of the whole feud, was brutal. Dude said he from the west side. Well, good man, it must be two sides. That single lyric cracked T.I.'s image wide open, with people suddenly questioning if Tip's entire backstory was even real. Shawty Lo didn't stop at the music either. He doubled down by filming a video where he cruised around Bankhead, asking locals if they even knew T.I. The footage painted a humiliating picture, making it look like T.I.'s street roots were shaky at best. For someone at the top of the rap game, having your credibility dragged through the mud like that was a nightmare. T.I. wasn't about to sit back quietly, though. He fired back with his own diss track. "What's up? What's happening?" Not only did he clap at Shawty in the lyrics, but he filmed the video in Bowen Homes, a Bankhead neighborhood Shawty Lo was deeply tied to. It was a direct hit on Shawty's turf. T.I. came with venom.
Convicted felon. Remember the server? Go serve you later on?
That's a damn shame. I guess that's what he hating for. Boy, you so damn lame. Your clique the same, just a bunch of walking stains. Disgrace the A, you give the city such a bad name. He even dragged their personal history into the beef, rapping, "But still, I hear you loud and clear on your little song. Go on, get your dissing on. While the king is gone, your self-esteem is gone. 'Cause I'm back now. Let's see if we can't teach these dudes how to act now. You kissing up, then you jumping back now. I check your A, then I shut your A, down loud, clear." It was raw, it was disrespectful, and it showed that T.I. wasn't just defending his crown, he was ready to bury Shawty Lo right on his own block. T.I. wasn't letting Shawty Lo's Bankhead roll call slide without a response. On the track, he fired back at those antics, rapping, "Hey, what I care about who you asking, saying they ain't heard of me? I'm certified, certainly. Your videos ain't hurting me. I still ride with the windows rolled down all around the A-town like it's gonna go down." Then Tip twisted the knife with another jab. "Go on, get yourself hype, 'cause I yelled Bankhead and you felt left out. I ain't mentioned your name. Is that what all this about?" It was a slick way of clowning Shawty for feeling overshadowed. And T.I. didn't stop there. On his track, No Matter What, he allegedly sent even more shots Shawty's way. He spit, "Set the standard in Atlanta, how to get it. So you up-and-coming rappers want this, just off it."
Anybody know T.I.? 'Cause I know everybody at school or high school didn't like him. So I got a reward, man. If y'all send me the yearbook pictures or something that's showing where he from, man, I will pay y'all personally, man.
I'm officially the realest. Point blank, period. Whether I still live in the hood or just visit, whatever you can do in the hood, I did it. That's why the dope boys and the misfits feel it. The message was clear. Atlanta was still his city, and as long as Tip was breathing, nobody was snatching that crown. T.I. was doubling down hard, shutting down every rumor, every question, every shot at his credibility. By late 2008, though, the tension between him and Shawty Lo was boiling over. And it all came to a head at the infamous Dirty Awards in Atlanta that November. Both T.I. and Shawty Lo showed up. Their entourage locked eyes from across the room, and you could feel the energy shift. At first it was tense but calm, nobody moved recklessly. But when Shawty Lo hit the stage to perform Dun Dun, it was like lighting a stick of dynamite. Reports say T.I.'s crew couldn't stomach it. They started throwing chairs onto the stage mid-performance. The chaos got so wild that security had to shut the entire show down just to restore order. And it didn't stop there. During that break, whispers say T.I. and Shawty Lo actually crossed paths backstage. Word is, they tried to squash the beef, at least for the cameras. But whatever piece was made didn't last a second, because once the show resumed, T.I. hit the stage.
Competition? You don't take it personally.
I'm sorry. Couple.
And according to witnesses, he couldn't resist throwing even more shade at Shawty Lo right in front of the entire crowd. The Dirty Awards turned into a battlefield, and the whole city was watching. That Dirty Awards showdown was the breaking point. After that, there was no holding back. Tensions exploded, and their crews went at it full force, fists flying in every direction. The fight got so wild that cops had to storm in and unleash pepper spray just to calm the madness down. Shawty Lo himself caught a face full of it, stumbling straight into the chaos. The brawl was so big, it instantly turned their beef into one of the hottest stories in hip-hop. Fans, blogs, radio shows, everybody had something to say. And the way it looked, things were only going to get uglier from there. Shawty Lo kept fanning the flames, clowning T.I. in interviews, and even claiming Tip got punched during the melee. That rumor spread fast, and fans were convinced this battle was about to spiral way past music. Diss tracks, public drama, all-out fights, people thought it was only a matter of time. But then came the shocker, something nobody saw coming. Out of nowhere, Shawty Lo and T.I. decided to squash the beef.
Prisoners from Bankhead, man, you know what I'm saying? We won't know, man. How you seen T.I.? How you seen him? Y'all gonna try to keep talking about y'all? We won't know, man. How y'all seen T.I.? Is he from Bankhead?
Man, we ain't seen enough when he bricks, man.
Yes.
To seal it, they even shared the stage together for a performance at T.I.'s own club in Atlanta. That moment was massive, not just for them, but for the whole city. To see two heavyweights finally put pride aside was legendary. And for a while, it looked like the battle was really over. From there, both men kept pushing forward with their legacies. T.I. continued stacking his name as one of Atlanta's greatest rap exports, while Shawty Lo stayed respected in the streets and loved in the city. But then, tragedy hit hard. On September 21st, 2016, Atlanta woke up to heartbreaking news. Shawty Lo had passed away that night. The city was in shock. Hours earlier, it had been a normal night for him, chilling at the famous Blue Flame Lounge, partying with his crew, laughing, and enjoying himself like always. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but when he left the club around 2 a.m., with two women riding in his car, nobody could have guessed the night was about to take a devastating turn. Shawty Lo's final moments played out in shocking fashion. He was behind the wheel of his Audi A7, flying down the highway way too fast, according to reports. The two women in the car later admitted they begged him to slow down, but he brushed it off, and that choice proved fatal. In a split second, Shawty lost control. The car shot over a guardrail, smashed into two trees, and the impact was so violent that he was ejected from the vehicle. By the time paramedics arrived, it was already too late. Shawty Lo was gone. Atlanta lost a giant that night.
An exit ramp on I-285 is back open after a deadly crash in South Fulton County. We're learning more this morning about the man killed in the wreck, local rapper Shawty Lo.
But the details of the crash sparked more questions than answers. Reports said Shawty had a large stack of cash on him that night. In a chilling twist, the two women riding with him allegedly snatched the money off his body before fleeing the scene. That shocking detail blew the story wide open, fueling all kinds of rumors and conspiracy theories. People started asking, was it just a tragic accident, or was something darker at play? The timing only made things feel more eerie. Just a week before, Shawty's father had passed away. Shawty had even recorded a tribute track, Letter to My Father, to honor him. The back-to-back losses had fans spinning theories about fate, bad energy, and whether there was more to the story than anyone was saying. Still, investigators found no solid proof of foul play. The hard truth seemed to be this. Shawty was speeding, he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and the crash was catastrophic. A legend's life was cut short in an instant. When the news broke, Atlanta was crushed.
You know, it's a lot of times, you find yourself in positions around people who don't like you, but most of the time that's just because they don't like their damn self,
Shawty Lo wasn't just a rapper, he was a cultural icon, a man who stamped his name into the DNA of the city. Tributes poured in across the rap world, from fans to fellow artists who had watched him change the sound of Atlanta forever. Even T.I., his former rival, was among the first to speak out. He posted a heartfelt tribute on Instagram, giving Shawty his flowers and saluting him as a pioneer and a legend. Despite all the battles and beef, T.I. made it clear. There was always love and respect for Shawty Lo, and he would never forget the mark he left on Atlanta's music scene. The love for Shawty Lo poured in from every corner of the rap game. Metro Boomin posted a throwback photo of himself in the studio with Shawty, Future, and young Scooter, captioning it, "Long live the King of Bankhead." Future himself honored him with a simple but powerful message. Legends never die. Shawty Lo forever. Lil Yachty jumped in too, sharing an old interview clip of Shawty Lo giving him props alongside a heartfelt tweet, R.I.P. Shawty. Even Gucci Mane, who had been close to Shawty for years, couldn't hide his pain. He went online and posted, "Damn it man, R.I.P. Shawty Lo." And the truth is, without Shawty Lo and D4L, Atlanta's rap scene would look completely different today. He didn't just make hits, he shifted the culture, opened doors, and gave rise to an entire wave of artists who might never have gotten their shot without him. His voice, his energy, and his stamp on the city are still felt, even though he's no longer here to see the empire he helped build. Shawty Lo's legacy is forever tied to Atlanta's DNA and to hip-hop history as a whole. What do you think about the wild ride of T.I. and Shawty Lo's feud and the tragic way it all ended? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one.